The hardest part of hey everyone. So I am going. The hardest part of fat loss. What is it? Hey everyone, welcome to this video, in which we're gonna discuss the hardest part of fat loss and how to actually overcome it. Okay, so I've been a coach for many years now. I think 4 years now, and the first guy I got lean was myself, and first I got myself lean, like ripped, and when I dialed it in and I knew exactly what to do and how to do it, that's when I started coaching people, and I've coached around 200 to 300 people by now. So I can tell some things. I have some experience, and I can see some things in common that people struggle with, and the same things I used to struggle with as well. And I sometimes struggle, well, not so much now. Okay, well, kind of. It's a never-ending battle. The fat loss and getting better and becoming the best version of yourself is not something easy, and it always gets harder, right? So, wait, what's that? Okay. So let's get started with the hardest part of fat loss. Okay, it comes down to two things at the end of the day. Okay, it's not some fat diet, it's not some workout, it's none of those things. The hardest part of fat loss comes down to two things. First of all, the first hardest thing is discipline. Okay. And the second thing is problem solving. And I'll go into further detail in each one of them. So, discipline, what does that have to do with fat loss? Well, it has everything to do with fat loss, okay? There are easy ways to get ripped, but easy for you isn't the same as easy for me, okay? It's like driving. I don't know if you're driving, but you can totally relate if you are. First, when you get started and you first get your driving license, you drive for 10 minutes and you sweat and you are so tired after 5 minutes, and then you go home and take a nap because your nervous system is just fried, right? So, and you look around and you see all these drivers, and it's so easy to them, and they don't think really about it. It's like on autopilot, right? They change gears, they hit the pedals, and they don't really think about it. They might be thinking about what to eat, or other random stuff in their lives. But you, when you're first starting out, you have to think about everything, and you have to give it your full and undivided attention, and that's the only way to drive and not crash, right? So it's the same with fat loss. So yeah, it gets easier and easier the more you do it, and the more time you put in, the easier it gets. But when you get first starting out, yes, of course, it's not going to be easy, squeaky, right? So, discipline, okay? And many people tell me that they struggle. Nobody mentions discipline. Nobody says, I'm not disciplined. Everybody says, I don't have motivation, okay? Well, let me tell you, motivation is worthless. Motivation is for pussies. Motivation is a nice thing to have. It's not mandatory to get ripped or get anything done in your life. If you depend on motivation to get things done in your life, you will be thoroughly disappointed. Well, it's not about motivation. As I said, it's a nice thing to have, but it comes down to discipline. Discipline is where it's at, okay? You are probably disciplined in other areas of your life, like, let's say, work, okay? If you don't show up to work, your boss might fire you, you'll get in trouble and stuff, right? So it's the same thing with working out. You have to put those things in the same bag. Just like you won't be skipping days at work just because you don't feel like it. You should work out and eat right, even if you don't feel like it. Like, feeling like it, being motivated is irrelevant. Now, it's easier to do it when you're motivated, but it's just a nice thing to have. So, discipline. So how do you build discipline? Well, there is no easy way to build discipline, okay? It comes down to small steps and dividing your and breaking down your goals, right? And not seeing just the end of the tunnel, but making smaller steps towards the goal, and recognizing those steps, so you get even more motivated and fulfilled, and so you can keep pushing through, right? So yeah, discipline. You have to build discipline, and it takes time. Okay, and that's why this fat loss thing has to become a way of living for you. You can't just hack the system and get ripped, and like, it doesn't work like that, right? It has to be part of your life. It has to become a lifestyle, and that's the hardest part. Okay, so discipline, lifestyle, that's the hardest part. And now let's go over the second problem, which is problem solving. Okay, and I had this issue back in the day when I was like super disciplined. I was eating super right, but I wasn't seeing the results I was looking for. And the main problem, I used to think that it was some diet I'm not doing, or some weird trick I'm not leveraging, and I'm not getting ripped. But I realized after many years that that's not the case. The problem was my problem solving abilities. My problem solving abilities weren't there yet. So what do I mean by that? So everything in life comes down to just problem solving. All life is just a series of problems that you have to fix. Everything good you want to do in your life, everything that is worth living for, worth working towards, has many obstacles and problems, right? So all you have to do is to get the prize and get the cookies and get the body you've always wanted, is just to solve those problems when they show up. So I used to think that when I got hit with an obstacle or a problem in my life, I just had to find another way, right? But no, that's not the case. You just have to sit in front of the problem and try to figure it out. It might take time, but once you figure it out, you go one step further. You go to the next level, okay? You can't go to the next level when you're just hopping from one program to the other, okay? So if you visualize a pyramid, which on the top of the pyramid is the body view you've always wanted, you get started with the lowest level, right? Floor zero, ground zero. And every time you solve the problem, you go one step above, one floor above, right? But when you hop to another program, you just change the pyramid. You go to another pyramid, and you go to another pyramid, and you never really go up. You never really progress towards your goal, but you feel like you are, because you're doing something different, and you're doing work, and you might be even disciplined, okay? So yeah, it's just feedback loops. So you set up a diet program and a training program, regimen, and you just wait for a few weeks, and then you have to analyze the data and make some decisions based off of that, okay? So let's say you give it 2 weeks and you've lost 1 pound. That's great. You keep doing what you're doing. And if you didn't lose that 1 pound, figure out the problem, fix that, and wait another 2 weeks. And that's it. Just problem solving very logically. Keep the emotion out of it, okay? And the better you get at problem solving, the easier is it for you to get the body you've always wanted. One thing every beginner struggles with is problem solving. The first reason that people struggle with problem solving is that it takes them too much time to actually figure out the problem. It might take them 2 months or 2 years to figure out that what they've been doing is wrong, and they should change something, right? I told you before about 2 weeks. I mentioned 2 weeks. Beginners tend to either just wait just 1 day and then step on the scale and make assumptions, or wait too long and wake up like next year and realizing that they've done zero progress the past year. So yeah, it's just taking these feedback loops and having the feedback loop being short and being able to properly diagnose the problem. And maybe it's something in your diet that's off and you think it's something in your training. That's another feedback loop lost. So now you change something in your training, you wait, let's say 3 months or 2 weeks or whatever, and then you realize that you didn't make any progress. So you change another thing in your training, still no progress. And then you change the thing in your diet, and then you see some progress. So that took you like 3 feedback loops, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. That's 9 months wasted. It's not wasted, but it's like spent on problem solving. Okay. So when you pay a coach, when you hire a coach, or when you buy a program, that's what you skip. You skip all this guesswork, right? So yeah, those are the two hardest parts of fat loss. One is discipline and the other one is problem solving. And these two are kind of intertwined, because if you are really good at problem solving, then you need less discipline. And if you have a ton of discipline and you have monk-like discipline, it doesn't really matter how much time it will take. You'll eventually get there. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. Comment below and let me know what you want to see next. And if you want to get coached by me, you can click the link below or just hit me up and we can even talk about it. Okay, so that was the video. I hope you really enjoyed it and see you in the next one. Peace out.